Konami did a full turnaround here, and we are getting Hiita, the Fire Charmer Ablaze, as our new prismatic rare. Now, we should have had this long ago, but because of timing and things like that for the release of that previous version, it is official from the official Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG Instagram account. So let's give it up. Finally, Hiita arrives in glorious style. So we're going to talk about mutants now. Earlier in the day, Ruggles went ahead and showed the world that this archetype exists, and it's kind of interesting. So let's give our opinion on this, talk about a couple cute things that people are trying here. So first up is Mutant M05, and that is a play, by the way, on the name for the M. It searches monsters, and then the other one is ST, searches spells and traps. So Mutant M05, on normal or special summon, you can add a mutant monster from your deck to your hand, except for M05. Then you contribute this card and banish a card from your hand, alright? Or from your face-up side of the field. Special summon one monster from your hand or deck based on the banished card. So if it's a spell, you get Mist. Monster, you get Beast. And Trap, you get Arsenal. And then these do have effects based on other conditions. It's kind of shady. I think that this entire archetype is going to be a splashable engine. I don't think we're going to play this pure. Now, we have Mutant ST46. See what I mean? Spell and Trap for the name. On normal or splash summon, you can add a mutant spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. You contribute this card and then banish one card from your hand or face up on the field. Special summon from your hand or deck a monster based on what you banished. So, monster, you get Beast. Mist is spell. And you get Arsenal based on banishing a trap card. Now remember, I cry every time when my cards get Ash Blossomed. But this archetype still's missing, what, 2 cards at the end of the day here? So we'll see what more extenders and things that we'll get out of this. But big yikeroonies to start off here. Moving on along, we have Mutant GB88. Alright? During your opponent's main phase, if Mutant Evolution Lab is in your field zone, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. Well, that's interesting. If this card is special summoned during your opponent's turn, you contribute this card and banish one card from your hand or face up on the field. Special summon one level 8 mutant monster that is banished or in your graveyard. This should have special summoned from the deck during the opponent's turn, and we would have gotten somewhere. I don't like this card. I'm going to be honest with you. This thing feels very lackluster for what it does. Alright, the good stuff. Mutant Beast. Cannot be special summoned except with the effect of a mutant card. Oh boy. At least it's a trade-in target. Alright. Your opponent cannot target this card with monster effects. You can only use each of the following effects of mutant monsters once per turn. When your opponent activates a spell or effect, quick effect, banish one card from her hand or field to negate that activation. Do banish that card. If this card is in its owner's possession, destroyed by an opponent's card, and target one of your banished mutant cards, add it, or mutant trap cards, add it back to your hand. So this thing will float into a trap, which will be your fusion. Alright, the more I read these, the worse these seem. Next up is Mist. Spellcaster on a level 8. At least it's a trade-in target. That's my whole argument for this. At least it's a trade-in target. Alright, same thing, can only be special summoned by the effect of mutant cards. Your opponent cannot target this card with spell effects. You can only use each effect of this card once per turn. So when your opponent activates a trap or effect, you can banish one card from your hand or field to draw 2 cards. Good news is it's a draw engine. Alright? And if this card in its owner's possession dies, you can target a banished mutant monster and add it back to your hand. So we get some recursion here. I guess I gotta be optimistic here in that regard. That's alright. And then we get Arsenal. Now remember, this guy has to be summoned by trap cards. Alright, which you only got one of those so far. So, yikes. Your opponent cannot target this card with trap cards. This will be really good in your Altergeist matchup. Can't crack down it, I guess. You can only activate each of the following effects once per turn. Opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, banish. Why does this one have to be the monster one? You're going to have to make me play trap cards to get full use out of this. Your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, and banish one card from your hand. Target one monster on the field and banish. It doesn't even negate. Oh, come on. Alright, that's just mean. And then it dies, you get to float into a mutant spell card from your banished pile. This is kind of sus. Good news is we got some broken fusions. So Mutant Synthesis. It's 2 mutant monsters. If this card is fusion, summon you target 1 card on the field and destroy it. Alright, so you can do this during your opponent's turn. When your opponent activates a card or effect quick effect, you can activate this effect for the rest of this turn. This face of card is unaffected by the effects of the opponent cards of the same type monster, spell, or trap card as that effect. Alright? If this fusion summon card is destroyed by an opponent's card, you have 1 banished mutant card to your hand. So at least this will float. Does give an interruption on the opponent's turn. This is the best value that you're going to get out of this deck. Alright, and I mean that wholeheartedly. Next up, we have Mutant ULTIMUS. I covered this earlier. 3 level 8 or higher mutant monsters to make this. Now that I've seen the summoning conditions and things for this deck, when a card effect is activated, quick effect, banish a mutant card from your hand, graveyard, or face up on the field of the same type to negate that activation. And this fusion summon card is destroyed by an opponent's card, and add up to 3 banished mutant cards, 1 of each monster spawn trap card, to your hand from your banished pile. So, yeah, this card was really good, and then I read the support. Moving on along with my day here. Mutant Evolution Lab. So this is our field spell. On activation, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower mutant monster from your hand, or that is banished. You know, it could have said from the deck and we would have had something going on here. I can't be the only one thinking that. Mutant monster control, gain 100 attack for each of your banished mutant cards with different names. Once per turn during your main phase, you can place 1 mutant monster from your hand on the bottom of your deck. And if you draw a card, oh boy, it's a worse Cosmo Town. Okay. Still being optimistic here. A Mutant Fusion. Fusion summon 1 mutant monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion monsters listed from your hand or field. If your opponent has activated a card or effect this turn, you can use up to 1 monster from your deck or graveyard as material. Oh man. You should have just Shaddoll Fusioned this, and we would have been fine. Alright, I'm going to be honest with you. It would have been cool. Mutant Blast. Activate, equip only to a level 8 or higher mutant monster. Oh boy. Okay, I love equip cards. At the start of the damage, if the equipped monster attacks the opponent's special summon monster, you can banish the opponent's monster. When this card is equipped to a monster, you can banish this card. Send that monster. This card was equipped to the graveyard. Nope, I'm out. I'm out. Card's bad. Mutant Cry. During your main phase, fusion summon 1. Oh, during the main phase. Okay, this was good. Ruggles was right about this. Fusion summon 1 mutant fusion monster from your extra deck by shuffling fusion materials listed on the fusion monster into the deck from among your cards on the field and in your graveyard, and or face up banished. Interruptions. So we just make the big guy, right? Keep in mind that this is 0/0/0, so we are missing 1 spell and 1 trap. Now, things that people have talked about today with this whole archetype is E-Telly the target. Alright, you got 1 E-Telly. People are now speculating that E-Telly is going to move to a higher number because of this support. I don't think so. I think that you're just going to get 1 of those, and we'll see what the last missing 2 cards do for synergy. We've also got people talking about playing Psi Impulse in this deck. Tribute 1 psychic type monster. Return all cards in your opponent's hand into the deck. They draw 3 cards. Not only do I get to force a mulligan on you, you're going to 4 cards in your turn once you draw, which means you've lost 2 potential combo pieces. Alright, seems terrible, but why not? Alright, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! There's also, Ruggles talked about Nemesis synergy with this deck as well. I think it's some cool stuff that you can do with Arch Nemesis and company in the deck. Is it going to make a splash? I'm not sure. Where I sit right now, this archetype is missing a lot to potentially be good. Alright, it's got to be splashable. Now, speaking of splashability, I was thinking it would be really cool if we could do something with MEKK-KNIGHTs with this deck. Now, hear me out here. Now, Invoked likes doing this. Invoke can put a more engine on the field, but it's kind of like, well, this deck can kind of column set up pretty easily, so you shouldn't have much of an issue, establishing MEKK-KNIGHTs. I mean, worst case, you turn one of the stupid monsters into an Almirage. Alright, you just kind of move on along with your day, but I'm looking forward to seeing what we actually cook up with this. Maybe MEKK-KNIGHTs will do it. Also, fun fact here, for your 1 monsters, your three little psychics. Psychic Path lets you pay 800. Select 2 of your remove from play psychic monsters and recur them back to your hand. So this is really about the only level of good support we got, I guess. And then, final thoughts here. Alright, I thought about wanting to play this deck with Invoke to put a Macabre on the field and the other interruptions. Problem is, this engine with only 1 E-Tully as of the card pool that we got, we're kind of missing something. We need some of those cards that say, especially summon this card ignoring summoning conditions, alright? I think it's going to be a little while before we get those types of cards for this, but it feels really lackluster without those cards. So at this point in time, I'm not sure. I think this will be best as a splashable engine. I think outside of that, these cards just suck. Alright, like I'm gonna be honest with you, maybe tier 2, there's some synergy here. But the fusion and the trap are probably the 2 best things. We were too safe in designing these cards. So we'll see what Fair does for these cards, and we'll see if they actually survive the test of time or if they'll be just trade fodder. So guys, please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think about these cards, and well guys, I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace out. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCall40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCall40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out MCallGames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.